Can a company be like that? The products of which the world uses half of the world's population almost every day. Whether you get up in the morning, brush with a close-up, use Lifebuoy or Lux while bathing, plus Sunsilk or Clinic Plus in the hair, or do it of Surf Wheel or Ring to wash the clothes. And if you have gone out, put the Pods or Glow and Lovely product is going to sell the same company. The name is Hindustan Unilever Limited. And not just you, but 3 billion people like you use any product of Unilever every day. Because these companies operate in more than 190 countries of the world, or we can say that just all over the world, because the tote country is 105th. But the question arises that a minor company started selling soap. How did the end of how big has been so big that today it is ruling the entire world? Is this company indigenous by name really Indian, or its truth? There is something else, and most importantly, what has to be faced with the solutions to reach this point, what has to be faced with struggles and legal battles, everything we are going to know in very detail in this video of today. So to understand, friends, Hindustan Unilever Limited completely, we have to go to 1800 digestions of time, where two brothers living in the UK, William Hand Live and James Dorsey Lover, together start a company called Liver Brothers. The company used to make soap under the name Sunlight, which was quite popular in the countries near it as well. In fact, this soap used to be a cleaning product, as well as a message of hygiene and health in society, which people liked very well. After this, boxes filled with Sunlight are fielded on the port of Kolkata in 1800, and from here the Liver Brothers have entry in India. It was only time that this soap becomes very popular among Indian people, and considering this success, 1850. Liver Brother also launches his second product, Lifebuoy here. And friends, for both of these products the company gets very good feedback from people. And given this success, Liver Brothers takes to expand this business. But in front of them, the biggest problem is coming: raw materials, especially the palm oil which was used to make soap. Let's now come to the Netherlands, where two businessmen are doing business in Jerusalem and Wandenberg margarine at this time. Basically, margarine is a plant-based burst known as purta in our country. At that time there was much competition in margarine's business. This was the reason why Jorgens and Wandenberg merged their companies together in 129, and then the new company is created, is named Margin Vagina, and then 2 years later, in September 29th, Liver Brothers and Margin E together with each other start Unilever Limited. Now you'll be thinking that a soap-making company. And what can be the connection of the company that makes Margin? In fact, friends, even if these companies were from different industries, but there was a thing between the two of palm oil. Palm oil was also needed to make soap and for margin too. But at that time palm was a huge kill of oil, and on a big level. It was a very difficult job to collect. In such a situation, both these companies decided the palm oil plantation and the combination of their profits and resource, and then along with this step, the global expansion of Unilever Limited became quite fast. Within a few years, he had entered into many newer countries, and in India, he was exporting his product in India. Meaning, on this time, on one hand, there was struggle for freedom from the British in India, but on the other, British companies were engaged in strengthening their business here. And then in this time period, around 100 and 200 and 200 and 200, Unilever established its first company inside India, which is named Hindustan Botanical Manufacturing Company. The company used to make vegetable ghee by the name of Dalata, which was the cheap alternative of the real Desi ghee. Now, how successful was in Dalata India? I probably won't need to explore this because I have made a detailed video separately above this topic, which link you'll find in description. However, reaching Dalata, which received the success in India, was not at all easy for Unilever. Because during this time indigenous movement in India was at their peak, under which Mahatma Gandhi and his supporters started to batch the British product. Due to indigenous movement, soap, edible oil and many products like these started being made inside India, despite the slightest quality of which Indian people used to do it, and friends also fell a huge decline in the sales of Unilever due to this movement. And then given all this, Unilever made a move towards local manufacturing. In May 1904 he opened his first sleeping factory inside Mumbai to reduce by its influence by giving manufacturing and employment universities in India. Apart from this, a regeneration of starting local manufacturing in India was also because of importing from the UK. The price of their soap increased significantly and most of the imported product of India could not afford this imported product. That's why Unilever tried to create Desi identity with the help of this strategy. At the same time, by providing products at a lower price, it targeted a large customer settled which proved to be quite profitable for the company. After this, in 150 he started his third company United Traders Limited within India. The import of clothing metals and chemicals exported. After this came 1906's when Hindustan Vegetable Manufacturing Company Liver Brothers India and United Traders Limited were formed by merging all three. However, in June 2007 this name was changed to Hindustan Unilever Limited. But the story of this merger is not as simple as it is coming because the country got freedom in 1900 and 100 million at that time. In India, a strict stance was being adopted against foreign companies. New rules and laws were being imposed on foreign ownership, due to which external companies had to make many changes in their operations. By this time, Unilever bothered these three companies. In Hindustan Unilever Limited, Indians were given 10% equity to each other so that foreign ownership spots above the company could be removed. They've lied for the first time. Tandon made such a man named the company director, which was from India. Not only this, so many Indians were diamond in the company by 155 that their 65 were percent managers India. In this way, the company tried to make its identity as an Indian brand and due to all the statistics of friends, there are still many people today who consider Hindustan Unilever Limited as an Indian brand. While today this is still a British company subsidiary named Unilever plc. Well back the story was accused, due to all these straight ties, India was proving a very profitable market for HUL. Because the composition was very low here and possibility very much. That's why the company now took the FMCG sector to oversee tech. In 190 people, he made his washing powder under the name of Surf, while in 1904's launched many ghee and silly shampoo and then entered these baby food segment till 100. Launching new products every year was to acquire companies and explore new sector as its mission. Everything was going better than expected. But the next year something happened that the company reached the verge of closing. In actuality 193rd the government has. Price control was put on many products like soap and vegetables so that the inflation can be reduced. In this round, it was very difficult for Indian or foreign companies to do business because the government had reduced price so much that most companies started to go to loss. To cover these losses, the Time Company chairman T. Thomas launched into a cheap soap market named the Public. But by doing so, no special recover could be made of the loss. Luckily, after some time, the Indian government removed this price control itself, which proved to be a huge relief for HUL as T. Thomas says that if this price control lasts some more time. So Hall had to take exits from India. Well, he left this problem but after that something happened which put the company into a bigger problem. In fact, during 70s the government had made a policy that multinational companies would have left their majority stake i.e. the 50 of its majority stakes for Indians more than %. That was the policy due to which many big companies, like Coca-Cola and Shell had taken off their business from India. But Hindustan Unilever did not want to leave this inhabited empire. That's why he conveyed the government in some way that his 50 on his poster ship let remain near him. But the question is, no, how this miracle happened. In fact, the government had laid the condition in front of Unilever that if you have a share of 51%, if you want to keep yourself, you have to spend your business turnover on a job in which India benefits the country. Also, 10% of the goods you will make will sell abroad, so that India could also earn names in other countries of the world. And because of Friends Solutions, the deal was finalized and after looking at better economy, the majority share was given to remain near them. After this, Unilever between 1900 and 1904 causes by acquiring companies like Lipton Brook Bond and Pods in their group had incorporated. Now on one hand, HUL was constantly diversifying his business in new segments. But on the other hand he was also facing a very big challenge that we know in the name of detergent war. Basically, 1990s and 90s time Hall was a big turning point because at the same time a multinational company named Procter & Gamble IEP&G, Entry Lee was in the Indian market and introduced his detergent brand Ariel. Now, as expected of this product, a sharp competition started in between the two companies. Surf and Ariel's marketing campaigns were also very aggressive and both were engaged in proving themselves good through it. But entangling in this corrosion, he did not notice that a local brand of India Nirma washing powder. Majority of Indians were attracted to it. In 1900 digestion to challenge Nirma, Hall launched a detergent named Wheel, which was kept very low. Along with this, Hall also ran an aggressive marketing camp, in which both rural and urban area were targeted. He promoted the Wheel as a skin-friendly detergent, which was a new and attractive concept in India at that time. The result of this campaign was that the solution has profit pretty well from the Wheel. Earned and then strengthened its place in the market, and friends were engaged in making its position with similar as and downs. Then in 1900 ICA, the economy came to bring economic liberalization inside India. Along with this, the paths of thousands of universities opened in India for HUL, as at that time the government had abolished all the rules which were making it difficult for foreign companies to do business in India. To take advantage of this, Hindustan Unilever has its expansion in the new business areas even faster. In the 1900 Tyronway for the Tata Oil Mills company merged with it, which was known for its popular sleep brand Hammam. This was a very big event of merger in India's corporate history. Because Tata, the group, was also one of India's largest and respected business house at the time. However, it was the financial risky decision for merger Hall, as Tata Oil Mills' business was going on in loss at the time. Apart from this, employees and shareholders during this merger, among them were quite protest and disputes too, because due to merger many people were fired from the job. Now, the initial experience with Tata Oil Mills for friends Hindustan Unilever was not as good as ever, but after some time the same Tata Oil Mills holds business affiliation and FMCG. It proved to help to get strong. Apart from this, Hall had also acquired UB Group's Farmer Company and Cadbury India's Dollops ICE Cream in 1903 Taranaway. After this, the year came 190 cisterns when Hindustan Unilever and Tata Groups locked together created a 50-50 joint venture. In luck, it was named Unilever Limited. However, this joint venture lasted for just 2 years, since in 1900 Tata handed over his 50% stake in Athanf to focus on his core business, i.e. steel and motors. Hall was very good during 90s. Seen towards and quickly increased their market share. But then in 2001 something happened that the company's reputation started getting much worse. And the solution was stranded in a very large legal battle. Actually was a factory of Hall in a hill station in Tamil Nadu, where the work of making mercury thermometer was from the 19IT. These thermometers were mostly exported to United States and to Europe. But the problem started when the thermometers inside the factory broke, or the remaining mercury during the production that went out was dumped into nearby forests. This also became poisonous, not only soil and water but also local environment. Even mercury vapors began to spread in the atmosphere around the factory and directly came into contact of humans and animals. This makes the local communities there. Different diseases began to occur. People began to breathe. Also, the problems related to kidney and liver had to be faced. Even the children who were born knew this pollution seemed to have an impact of this solution. But the most damages happened to those who were working in this factory. These workers were on neurological due to mercury poisoning, so that their memory, the ability to think, and the body's balance was bad. When all this problem started to grow even more, then people started to protect against solutions in 2001, and then the company was made so much pressure that they had to close their factory. Also, to improve your image in 2003, Hindustan Unilever gathered 290 tons of mercury from Sola Forest of Kodaikanal and sent it to the US for recycling. But the company's promotion did not end here. Hindustan Unilever trapped in the legal battle for a long time due to this case. Eventually, in 2016, the company decided to give compensation to the family of affected workers, from which going to and getting this matter slightly calm. But it wasn't that meanwhile the solution did not do any progress. In 2007, Brooke Bond and Surf Excel had crossed the sale figure of 1,000 rupees. So in 2008, Val had amazed everyone by absorbing 2,000 rupees of sales of 2,000 rupees. During this time Hull also increased as president in the rural market. Launched small and cheap detergent packs for the village, which also got a strong customer settled in rural area. Now friends were enjoying the lead position in the FMCG industry of Hindustan Unilever India till this time, but then once again the company got to the target of people and trapped in a big controversy. The case was Fair and Lovely's, which was the country's best-selling fairness cream. People thought that this cream promotes color discrimination and gender stereotype in society, such as for success. Girls need to be blonde, and then the global movement like Black Lives Matter did the work of hoisting in the fire, and the resistance increased so much that finally in 2020 Hall had to change the name of this cream to Glow and Love, and now the company believes that they promote glow and healthy skin in the fairness place. That year is in 2020. Hall merged the GS Consumer Healthcare with him, and due to this merger Horlicks and Boost also became part of Hindustan Unilever. And friends, are all the results of the same achievements and merger that financials have taken over 2,000 turns over Hindustan Unilever in 2024 and touched the route of about 6,000 crore rupees, and for 2020 SEP, its market cap is also more than 7 trillion rupees, making it one of the most valuable companies in the world. Today, Hindustan Unilever has made its place in every home through its quality product, strong customer relationship and social responsibilities.